Hi everybody, my name is MiinaKivelä and today I will give a little talk about influencer marketing in Finland. I work as a senior lecturer in digital marketing in TAMK, and I'm very passionate about social media, and I've been watching the influencer scene for the past 10 years or so. And today, during my lecture, I will talk about influencer marketing in Finland. What is influencer marketing, how to get started, and what kind of things you should consider when starting influencer marketing as an influencer or as a company. And here is an overview about the things that I will talk today. So, what has been going on in the influencer scene during the past 10 years or so? I think nobody understood what kind of scene they were creating back in the early 2000s when they were taking selfies in toilets and maybe film themselves playing online games. But today, the Finnish influencers that make the most money made over 200,000 euros during 2020. So that's a big number for anyone to make. And if you consider the whole amount of influencer marketing in Finland, it's around 30 million euros at the moment. And globally, it is expected to grow to over 16 billion during the course of 2022. So the growth has been super fast, and if you compare it to 2016, it's over 10 times bigger. So that's a big number. And all the influencers that started back in early 2000s, they have been creating the industry themselves. And as they have evolved and grown and learned, so has the industry. So the influencers have been creating the scene themselves, and most of them actually work as entrepreneurs even nowadays. But what makes an influencer? Usually influencers consist of these four blocks that vary. All influencers must have followers. The followers are big in number, or they are particularly committed. So that means that they are engaging with the content that the influencer shares, and all influencers have audiences. So you cannot be an influencer without an audience. And earlier, influencers had maybe just one main channel, and based on that they were called bloggers or YouTubers or something like that. But nowadays the influencer word has replaced those words, because many influencers do have more than one channel that they work with, so from the social media channels. So they might be originally bloggers, but nowadays they have a blooming Instagram page, or they are popular in TikTok and so on, or they are podcast hosts or something like that. Then influencers, they have different kind of backgrounds. They might be celebrities from the start, and that's why they are interesting to people, or they might be written to be influencers by their niche or their industry or something that they are talking about. So if you find your own crowd, it might be possible for you to rise to have a nice size account quite soon, actually. And in Finland, we have been seeing, mm, especially with the cleaning accounts, that they have grown very fast because they are talking about a subject that is quite niche, but so clear for everybody to understand. So when you look at their profiles, you can instantly see that, okay, these people are making cleaning videos, and that has been attracting people lately. And last but not least, the fourth building block is content, and it means that all the influencers are either creating, commenting, sharing, or filtering interesting content for their followers. And of course, I think it's quite clear that creating means creating podcasts or videos or photos or text or something like that. Then commenting is actually quite important in many social media channels, that you are part of the conversation. So you are not just like publishing stuff and then leave it there and exit, but you are part of the conversation, and you keep replying to people and and commenting on other influencers as well. And filtering means that if you see interesting content, for example, on web stores, you could make a post of the most hot summer accessories of this and this web shop, or maybe tell about best videos about um making renovations or anything like that. Another important thing when talking about influencer marketing is that money or other goods are always traded in influencer marketing. So it means that there is commercial cooperation between a brand or a company or an entity or and the influencer, and they are aiming to promote something, maybe products or services, or to increase brand awareness, or to increase some other kind of awareness, especially with the non-profit section. And as uh, as an influencer, you receive money or products or services or discount based on the fact that you had commercial cooperation. And according to the Finnish Consumer Protection Act, you must be very clear at stating that this is marketing. So anyone who sees your cooperation or the sponsored content should be able to tell that it is marketing. It must be clearly marked in the social media channels with the tools that they have, or written at the top of the post, that it is one of the first things that you see when you see the post. And the rule is the same no matter where in the media or how the marketing is implemented. And the company and the influencers, they are both responsible of making sure that all people that see the influencer marketing can tell that it is marketing and not just a regular post. Many influencers create their own content just by themselves, but the bigger influencers, they might have some helping hands, maybe with editing or with the sales or answering the messages or something like that. But basically, influencers are like small or not even small media agencies. So they create the content, um, do video productions, photo shoots, editing, maybe podcast episodes, blog posts, anything. Then they are responsible of selling and implementing different kind of campaigns. So advertising and doing sales, doing campaign planning, then gathering the data for the customer, then maybe sponsoring the posts and so on. And last but not least, the content always must be optimized. So the influencer is usually the best person to know how to reach their audience when it comes to posting times or something like that. But in addition to that, the companies that are doing the influencer marketing should be aware that they also take advantage of all the content that has been made during the campaign, so they would optimize the content that it can be found later on where they want it to be found, and it is wisely shared during the campaign. So any influencers should be able to have reach, relevance, and resonance with their audience. And first we start with reach. It means the total audience that could be reached throughout the influencers channels. So that means all the followers and the subscribers and people who click and read their blog. So all of those, that is the total audience of the influencer. Relevance means that how meaningful and relevant the message is to the person receiving the message. So how great is the brand match with the influencer and the company that is promoting something? Are the followers really interested in what the influencer is saying? And then last but not least is resonance, and that means that how well the audience of the follower or the influencer is reacting to the content that the influencer is making. And algorithms like to give rewards when there is interaction, so that really helps them to spread even wider. I often get questions, what's the difference between influencer marketing and just PR? And here you can see a table of that. So as you can probably guess, with influencer marketing, you have to pay for the influencer, and then the company might have the rights to see the content before influencer is publishing it. They might sign a contract or agree on the terms with an email. And on all of these, the sponsored content must be clearly stated. And on both cases, the brand might send free products or services to the influencer. So whenever influencer receives something for free or gets paid to receive something, then it is marketing or PR, and anyways it should be stated. In Finland, there are many regulations when it comes to marketing. So as I've said already before, the cooperation or any sponsored content must be identifiable as an ad. And the responsibility for that, it is for all the parties of the cooperation, and it must be stated at the top of the post. So it is for the influencer and for the brand that is doing influencer marketing, and also if there is like an influencer agency or brand agency involved, they are all responsible that the followers know that it is sponsored or that is influencer marketing. And it is important also to state if you have received something for the post, or if your post has advertising links on them or affiliate links. And with copyrights, they must be taken into account when the brand and the influencer are agreeing to do a campaign together. Usually the influencer has the rights to the content, but the influencer can sell the rights to the company if they want to. And then some restrictions of marketing in general in Finland, so the gambling and alcohol and advertising for minors, they are either prohibited or regulated in Finland. And just to remind you that if you do lotteries or giveaways in social media, you should follow the Finnish lottery rules and also the social media channel restrictions that they might have. Then the taxation of influencer marketing in Finland. So in Finland, it is considered that all taxable income must be reported to the Finnish tax office. So that means that as an influencer, if you receive gifts or products or other kind of benefits or compensation, it is taxable income for you. And as a company, if you are doing influencer marketing, you should be able to tell the value of the product. For example, if you are sending products to influencers so they know how to report it, or if it's a service, the value of the service should be also stated there. And if you are making content for social media and you have to buy some services or maybe some technical equipment or so, they are deductible in the Finnish tax office. But you can find a lot more information in vero.fi. They can also be found in English. And in my slides, you can see a couple of examples on the taxation that is going on in the influencer scene in Finland. Then to the influencer categories. In Finland, the influencer categories are a bit smaller than internationally, but you can see that in Finland, with under 1K of followers, so under 1,000 of followers, you might enter the influencer scene. So if you have a small but very engaged crowd, or if you have found your niche, it is possible that you start doing influencer marketing in Finland. But I think most Finnish influencers are in the micro category or influencers category, so maybe 5 to 20K. And before the 10K swipe up link was a big milestone for all the influencers. And of course, we have a couple of influencers in Finland that have over 1 million of subscribers or followers, but it is not too common. So most of our big influencers are over 100K in followers or subscribers. And internationally, the the influencer accounts are a bit bigger, especially with the English-speaking countries or in the countries that have a lot of inhabitants. So it varies a bit. Here you can see a few examples of how to do influencer cooperation. So the first thing is that the influencer is posting brand content to their own channels. And it might be a podcast episode or a blog post, maybe a YouTube video. And usually it is more than just one post. You market the post in your other social media channels. So for example, if you make a blog post, you also make a couple of stories to Instagram about that, or maybe you do a teaser post on Instagram or on TikTok about that. So they can be independent photos or shorter posts that promote some other content. You could be working as a brand ambassador, meaning that you promote the company for a longer period of time, maybe for a year or for a season. You might do social media takeovers or other kind of posts that are published in the brand channels. And then influencers also could be a part of the product development, or you could, for example, have your own clothing line as a cooperation with a brand as an influencer or so. And around the world, around 70% of the companies or brands manage their own influencer marketing campaigns, and somewhat 1/3 of the brands use influencer agencies. So you could choose to manage it yourself or through an agency. And then the pricing. How much you should charge for influencer marketing, or how much you should pay for influencer marketing. And I'm sorry to let you down. I cannot give you numbers that are valid for all different kind of influencers and all different kind of campaigns, but I can give you some guidelines on how to justify the price. So first you should consider the genre of the influencer and the number of their followers. If it is very important for you as a company to reach a target audience that the influencer has, it might be very valuable for you. Then the number of posts and how long of a contract we are talking about. It means that if there is only 2 or 3 posts, usually influencers do not sell just one picture. So the contract usually consists of more than one post. It might be more expensive per post if you compare it to working as a brand ambassador or something similar to that. Then the amount of work that goes into the influencer marketing. If you are shooting a long promotional video of 15 minutes, it might take many days to make it, or you would have to hire like extra equipment, or you would have to fly somewhere or whatever. So that should also be considered when pricing influencer marketing. Then the copyrights and the reuse of the content, who owns it and how much it costs. And then some middlemen or portals or agents might take their share. But you should be looking at paying hundreds or few thousands, depending on what you are marketing. So with small nano influencers, you might be able to start with 500 or so, but if you are looking at bigger influencers, it might be 2,000 or 5,000 or so. And of course, the number grows when the account grows. And if you can reach the number of inhabitants in Tampere or even in Finland with one single post of the influencer, of course it is valuable and you should pay a proper money for that. Then, when you are starting influencer marketing, you should find the match as a brand and as an influencer. When you are trying to find new businesses to cooperate with, you should see if you are a brand match. Do you match in values, target groups, on your goals? Is there trust between you and the brand? Then you should make a contract of some kind and a brief. So everybody knows what will be done exactly, who owns the rights to the content and what is included in the price and how and when and based on what the brand will pay you. And then the measuring. How will everybody know if the campaign objectives were met, the KPIs and all the other important results that are expected, and how and when you as an influencer will deliver the numbers to the brand. The benefits of influencer marketing can be quite big for companies and brands. So the brands could reach completely new target groups with the influencer on the influencer's channel. So for example, if you're a brand and you want to test out TikTok and you don't already have a channel in there, you could do an influencer campaign to test out whether it resonates with the audience on TikTok. Then the influencers can really increase sales, like concretical, like euros and numbers and so on. They could be used to create brand awareness or maybe bring more visitors to the website. And then one research result states that about 2/3 of companies that are doing influencer marketing, they believe that they find better quality customers through influencer campaigns than any other means of marketing. So I think that's pretty hot to hear that it is so beneficial for the companies as well. And now it has come the time to say goodbye. I really hope that you enjoyed my little talk about influencer marketing. And if you have any questions, you can find me on social media or you could email me. And here are the references that I used to put this talk together. Thank you and see you later.